In this video, we're going to quickly walk through three other kinds of assignments that you'll find in the Financial Management Mind tab. Right now I'm in the blueprint problems. There should be one per chapter. You'll see that I have multiple questions that I'm working through here, but this really makes use of the drop down in a way that makes sure that students really understand key terms and key concepts within the chapter, but also how they're interrelated. So it's giving students if statements, understanding how these terms would work together in specific situations. You can see I'm working through 5 of these in this particular assignment. Some of them are much shorter than others. As an instructor, we can, remove any of these if you would want it to be a shorter assignment. Students do have the ability to check their work. It's going to tell them whether they have it all correct or partially correct. They also will see their grade as they move along. Right now I've only got a 5.3%. As an instructor, you do have some settings in here that you can remove the check my work feature. You can have them only review their grade at the end of the assignment. And students can save these and then continue and come back or submit the assignment for an automatic grade. So those are the blueprint problems. You'll find them in the practice folder. They can be used as a homework grade or a quiz grade, however you would want to incorporate them into the class. The other thing you'll find here in a specific chapter are these problem set assignments. And these problem sets are built from an online solution called Applia. Over here on the Doc app, it's the little person. Little blue person is what this is being powered by. And Applia questions are really meant to promote critical thinking. So you'll see here when I'm looking at the questions that are in this problem set, there's 13. It'll show me my grade for specific attempts. The great thing about these Applia problem sets are that when students are completing one question, they can check their work, get detailed feedback, but then they can have a second attempt and a third attempt. Now, when students choose to try it again, they aren't going to have the exact same information. It's not going to be the same scenario or the same data, but it will test similar concepts. So instead of having students just memorize which multiple choice bubbles were incorrect and try to get the correct one, students actually have to take the feedback they get from getting an answer incorrect and then reapply that knowledge to get it correct in a new situation. So in here as an instructor, it's going to automatically tell me if these are correct or not. Let me quickly pop into a student view for this. Okay, so now I'm in a student account in a similar assignment. You can see I tried this one time, and I got some of them wrong, a few of them correct. If I click this explanation here, it's going to give me detailed feedback on why I got some of these wrong. So instead of just saying, there's a little red X here, try it again, it's going to tell you specifically what you should have looked for and what kind of concepts you should have used to help yourself save this problem. So because I'm allowed to have multiple attempts, now that I've completed this once, I can click try another version. And now it's going to open up and these will be slightly different. So again, I'm not completing the exact same assignment over again. I get another chance to apply those concepts. So I'm going to try this again. I can save and continue, or I can click grade it now to be able to see what I got. Again, I can get that feedback. And you'll see this is different feedback than before. And try one more version to finally get my grade. As an instructor, you can decide how this is graded, whether students will receive their best score out of all 3 attempts, if you want it to be the average score of all 3, or if you want it to be the last score. Right? So only their last attempt is the one that will be taken. You note that once students have completed one of these assignments, the student has completed the assignment number 1, I can go back into it and see and review my answers. So you can see I attempted this once, I got a 0, what happened here? When I click review, it's going to allow me to get in here and I can see that feedback again. So just because students have completed it doesn't mean that they can't go back in there and read that feedback after they've submitted. The instructor will be able to see this with the feedback as well, and you can use it as a learning exercise to walk through the problems that they missed, look at the feedback, and help give them some explanations as well. Now that I'm in the main screen where I can see all of the chapters and parts in this book, at the very bottom there's this finance and action section that's also available for you to include in your class. So just as you had the preparing for finance, which was kind of a refresher for students to go over some key ideas that they'll need for finance, these finance and action assignments kind of are just extra practice for particular topics that students usually have a difficult time learning. So basics of capital budgeting, ratio analysis, taxes, time and value of money. So let's go into one of these to take a look. They're pre-set up as practice, so the grade won't automatically go into their grade book, but you can make this for a grade if you want as well. So these are meant to deepen the students' understanding and appreciation of these core financial concepts. This might be something that instructors might want to walk through in class with students, but you see these have very different formats as well. So right here, you know, I'm in a situation where I was cleaning out my great-grandfather's attic and I found a rucksack with a journal and a sheaf of papers. This is a diary describing a series of visits to an uncharted island. Okay, so this is kind of intriguing. It's giving the notes that they had. And as you read through the journals, you decide to take the rucksack to your finance class tomorrow to enhance the class discussion on the effect of taxes on decision making. So right here, you know, students are then looking at the terms that are going to apply to the question that it's asking. Students are going to fill in answers throughout this whole thing, but it kind of puts it in a fun scenario and will give visuals when needed. Down here then, I'm actually going to type in specific numbers while I'm looking at the tax rates, what's going on here. It's going to ask me what kind of tax system this is and what that means. And again, I'll be able to have the grade it now, and I can actually have 3 different attempts with this assignment. So while I've only typed in a few things, let me grade it now. I'm going to get most of it wrong because I skipped most of it. Again, I can get my feedback, but I can also try it again, and it's going to be slightly different. Some of these other ones will look different. Let's go into time value of money. You can see in this one, we're looking at Colin Closer's been playing basketball and he dreams of being in the big leagues. On his 3-year anniversary of the team, he gets an email from his agent, and that email is right here. They can look at it. You can see it's going to give them, you know, this is a contract that we're looking at, how much money you're going to make as a pitcher, your percent of bonus that you can get if you decide to do this, to take this job. He's so excited, but it's going to have students go through and actually see, is this something good that Colin wants to do? How is this going to affect his finances? And he gets to work through this spreadsheet and actually fill in the answers and then answer a few questions here as well. Again, I have the grade it now option. You can save and continue. Feel free to check these out in your own MindTap course. Just go to the bottom and Finance in Action, and you can see what's available here.